This is a HeadGum podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to this special edition of the Black Girl Nerds podcast. My name is Jamie, and I am your host. We're actually currently on hiatus, but we are making an exception because there's a huge movie that is happening in the nerd and geek community called Star Wars Rogue One. So we are making an exception and dropping in this special episode just for you Star Wars fans out there that look forward to seeing the movie that will be released in theaters nationwide on December 16th. We have Riz Ahmed, who plays the role of Bodhi Rook, on this show to talk to us about not only his character of Bodhi, but also about his personal life as an actor and a hip-hop artist. Riz Ahmed is also known as Riz MC, and he's a British actor and rapper, and he's known for films such as The Road to Guantanamo, Shifty, Four Lions, and Nightcrawler. If you're an HBO fan, you've probably seen him on the miniseries called The Night Of. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this special edition, Star Wars Rogue One edition, I should say, of the Black Girl Nerds podcast. This is a one-on-one hosted by Jacqueline and featuring actor Riz Ahmed. Enjoy!
From an online publication, and this is from BGN's store, so we have like a store online.
Can you send me one?
Yeah, you want one?
Yeah, I want to wear that.
Oh my god, I will totally send you one of our shirts.
Send that to my publicist. Please.
No, seriously, I'll get the information. You point her out.
Yeah,
I bought it just to come and hang out with you. No, we're really excited to chat with you, man, because
thank you. Likewise.
Seriously though, because I'm not gonna lie, most folks don't know maybe like the Star Wars people, but Night Of was like my jam, man. I lived for that show.
Oh, thank you. It's
a
really bingey show, isn't it?
Yes,
you kind of just want to knock it out in like a day.
But you've been having a couple of good years. I mean,
yeah, it's been a good little. Well, you know what's funny though? A lot of this work is like been filmed over a long period of time, and it just happens to come out one after another. Yeah. Like so, the Night Of, we did the pilot in 2012.
Wow.
So in that episode 1, I am like 26.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like back in the day we shot it. and then it went through a real kind of hiatus when James Gandolfini passed away. Then the whole project was done. Then De Niro said he wanted to do it, so it was up and running. Then he said he didn't want to do it, so then it was done. Then Totoro said, and then it would. So, in a way, and so that is kind of like, from back then. Then Bourne, I shot while we were doing Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that came out before Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's just funny how like stuff works out in terms of release schedules. So.
Hey, but I mean, I'm not.
I guess what I'm saying, like from my point of view, I'm just doing the same stuff I ever was. It's just funny that
it's all coming
out at the same time, and I guess also the difference is some of these movies are bigger than they've ever the ones I've done before. I used to do
really
indie
good
movies.
Too. They're really good. So you've been doing really well.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say too. So our audience loves The Night Of, and we're really excited, of course, about Star Wars, but also your MC skills, man. Like, we're like a nerd site, so I was like, this guy's you've obviously thought about what your character would want to be like rapping about if he was going to be doing some rap.
I don't think my character's got the confidence to rap, really. I think he's not sure he touched the mic in that way.
So you didn't make up a rap like...
A Bodhi rap?
Yeah.
No, I'm not quite right for this character. Although I do often make playlists for like music that characters listen to.
What's on his playlist?
Well, he doesn't have one because I'm not sure they kind of... what kind of music they have in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
But for previous characters, I definitely would kind of have playlists for like, for Nasir and Night Of or whatever,
is there anything you listen to on set to like get pumped for a scene?
It's interesting. It's like with this character, whenever I play a character, what I like to do is try and interview people. Mm-hmm. So when I did the Night Of, I went to Rikers and I interviewed loads of people that have been to prison for hours and hours, and I do that often. That's my approach. But who do you interview to play an Imperial cargo pilot? I found one real life way in when I thought about, because Bodhi Rook is from an occupied planet, Jeddah, and he collaborates with the occupiers to earn a living. He works as an imperial pilot. So I thought that's interesting. That's an experience a lot of people had in World War II, or like Israeli Arabs might have, or Afghans who work as translators for the American army. So I started researching that, and that was an interesting way in for me. But a lot of the kind of finding the character on a Star Wars movie happens on set.
Oh, wow.
It's actually not like so much with, I don't know, for the night of, it was like, okay, interviewing people, spending time in the Bronx high school system, or, hanging out in Queens, having the playlist, having the life story, and then bringing that to the table because you're reflecting real life. In a way, in Star Wars, what you're doing is you're entering a different reality.
Yeah.
So kind of being too in your head, like bringing too much of a fixed template to the table in your head, I realized kind of gets in the way.
It makes it, it's not as good.
So in a way, it was kind of about letting go and just letting this world in, because they build this stuff around you.
Yeah,
There's
you're
like
on a big set. Like,
yeah,
it's
like
immersive.
Built a mountain. They've built like a U-wing here. There's like aliens walking by you. I mean, how can they ever how can like a playlist at home ever compete with that?
Yeah.
It can't. So in a way, it was about letting go and being there. And the challenge actually was when you let go and you're just there and you really start taking it in, is you start fanboying out.
I heard that when Darth Vader shows up, like,
everyone's
everybody
just
loses
giggling
it.
and like trying to take secret photos and stuff. And so that was a challenge for me. It was like trying to put away the fanboy and be in the world. But then by the end of the shoot, I realized actually you got to ride that adrenaline, because if you walk past a stormtrooper and a shot of adrenaline goes through you, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you've got like some kind of memory association with U-wings or stormtroopers, or
That's the great thing about being here, is like there's stormtroopers everywhere. I'm like, my inner fangirl is literally like, okay, you're a journalist and you're serious, but I'm just like, oh,
but in a
so
way, you
serious.
realize actually you might give a better interview if you just let that come out. And that's what I realized with this performance and with this movie, is the fact that we all grow up with Star Wars and it's all part of our collective memory is an asset.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a really rambling answer.
No, I love it, man. I love hearing you fanboy out. Like, we're a site built. BlackGirlNerds.com is built off of fangirling, let's be honest. So we're excited for it. But I was going to ask you, I heard that you found out about your audition very quickly. Like, this was like a real quick process for you to get involved with Star Wars. Can you tell me about that?
Actually, it was kind of weird. When I was shooting the night of, Gareth called me up via my agent and told me he was doing a standalone movie, which I didn't even know about. I didn't know that they were doing this. And the character he had in mind was actually he had a totally different name. He was a totally different character. And it evolved a lot once I signed on and we started shooting, and they decided how they wanted to expand the role or do other things. But when he said, listen, can you put yourself on tape to audition for this? He sent me this scene, just a made-up scene that isn't in the movie. And he made the mistake of giving me his email address. And so over the next few days, I sent him like 12 takes.
Oh my God.
I just started spamming him. Literally, I put down the take straight away. Then like 4 hours later, I was like, oh, I've had an idea. So I did another one, then did another one that night. I woke up the next day, sent him 3 tapes. I haven't heard anything. Instead of thinking he's busy, I went, oh, I should probably send him some more. So by the end of the thing, I was doing it in like different accents, in like weird costume, like dressed up in weird ways, in different locations. I just kept doing it, and it almost just becomes something I'm just obsessed with. I just start doing this. Then he emailed me on like the 5th day and said, hey Riz, please stop emailing me. We've got your audition tapes, we'll let you know. And I was like, oh damn, I've screwed it up. And so when he called me a few weeks later, I thought it'd be his lawyers getting a restraining order on me or something. And instead he was like, come and be a part of it. I was like,
I think it helped you out, because they even talked about it today about how, the war of who's the biggest Star Wars fan on set. Because I think that's what makes it a better movie, is when you have people that love it so much and they feel like they've been given the brain trust, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like take this thing and keep it going forward. I would definitely say that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Well, thank
right?
you. I'm glad you like my Psychos treatment.
No, it's great. One last question I was going to ask too is, with this character, I feel like Gareth just made this, like, he's getting all the foreigners in, you know, like Australians, British people. Like they luckily they let Alan Forrest in the film. They have like 2 Americans. But
Right, yeah, wow.
what do you think about knowing now that, you know, British kids? Because I've heard you talk about how Britain's changed, you know, with actors like yourself and Idris. Like, what people see as British actors is definitely widening. It's not all corsets and Downton Abbey. How happy are you to know that you're part of this sort of revamp of what we now see from, you know, British actors, musicians, so on and so forth?
It means everything to me.
Yeah. So well, there you go. I personally, when I go to London, I'm always like, man, they just need to show more of what this city really is. It's much more
It's
of a
the whole
melting,
world, man.
yeah. And final question: you're an MC, Idris is a DJ. When do we get you guys together to do
Tell
a
him
collab?
to holler at me, man. That's it. Yeah, if he's got a nice beat, I'll sit on it. Let's just do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, thank you so much for chatting with us, Riz.
Thank
and I'm
you.
gonna get you this
Really,
shirt.
really appreciate
Like,
it. Yeah,
hey,
send
who's
it.
your publicist?
Jen,
I'm gonna
Jen over here. Jen,
All
Jackeline's
right.
gonna send you this T-shirt that I want. I want one of these shirts.
I'm gonna give you my info.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, thanks, guys.
That was a HeadGum podcast.